Jr. urged all members of parliament as leaders entrusted with the future of the nation to ask themselves a fundamental question as to what yes looks like and what a no looks like, because both answers carry responsibilities and consequences.
That is why the real issue before this parliament is not whether one side wins or another side loses. The real issue whether we have the wisdom to preserve peace regardless of the decision we will make. The real issue is whether we honor the spirit of the Bougainville Peace Agreement. The real issue is whether we continue to build a future based on trust rather than uncertainty.
A non-binding independence referendum was held in the autonomous region of Bougainville between November 23rd and December 7th, 2019. The referendum question presented a choice between greater autonomy within Papua New Guinea and full independence. Voters voted overwhelmingly, 98.31%, for independence. The referendum was a result of a 2001 agreement between the government of Papua New Guinea and the autonomous Bougainville government that ended a civil war fought from 1988 to 1998. The vote was non-binding and the government of Papua New Guinea had the final authority of decision on the political status of Bougainville. In July 2021, an agreement was reached between the governments of Papua New Guinea and Bougainville, under which Bougainville would gain independence by 2027, pending ratification by Papua New Guinea's parliament. As of May 2026, the parliament has not ratified the agreement until now that parliament has agreed to vote on the results come Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Following the creation of a special purpose vehicle to manage the 4.7% Croton equity, debate flared up throughout the week in Parliament, with opposition questioning the motive of government for doing this. Member for Yalebo Pangia Peter O'Neill maintained that this equity is not a free carry equity, and if this is going to be given free to the provincial governments and landowners, it has to be done without political interference.
During grievance debate today, former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill took time to explain the initial arrangements around the pricing structure of the 4.27% Croton equity made during the UBSA agreement in 2009. He said in that agreement, a 2% free carry equity was given to landowners for free, while the 4.27% was to be purchased on a commercial arrangement on a pricing of $240 million per share. But because landowners and provincial governments didn't have the capacity to pay those shares at that time, the national government purchased them together with its own shares by mortgaging the Dan Oil Search shares to IPIC Bank.
And because there's shares you may LNG, you may need money, you may go borrowing money, buy this state had to pay for it. You know, one free gift, free carry. And 2% as a law landowners. All not apply, you may buy him. There's a time you may buy him, and Prime Minister may to stop, Sepulchre stop, or plan the Honorable Minister may play stop the government law somewhere. I may play agree law, you may mortgage him shares, you may oil set, you go law Arab na, you may borrow him money na, you may pay him LNG shares. There's like LNG shares here, how you may benefit the government, me like talk story na you may Arab.
After the purchase, the government still realized the provincial governments and landowners still could not purchase those shares, so reduced the pricing to $150 million per share. He then explained what was done to help the landowners buy the shares at that price back then.
So time you may work in this land, maybe like Tintin law ask him, Kumul Petroleum law, vendor financing. Using some revenue election, but it's a time law, dividend, tax, planting or royalty, law vendor financing, buy him shares blow. Trying to pay this sales or landowner and the provincial government of Bangladesh. That's all again, look also the agencies of the government decide people trusting to implement all this decision. You know, carry them out, you missed out this level where now 2026 come up. The Prime Minister and the government he decided more but give him this share, equal all landowners.
And now with the creation of the special purpose vehicle to manage those shares, O'Neill says there should not be political interference in managing this vehicle.
But all now, landowners like managing or something, all Governor Agiru, it clear Kokopo. I remember very well. I'm not like a all politician who will go and manage him or something. And you must learn him all Pablo money yet, the Pablo ground, the Pablo natural resources, managing blow yet. Suppose you make him free gift, please. Let him Oliver.
He says he is not against giving these shares free to the provincial governments, but should be done properly as the country sacrificed a lot to get those shares. Prime Minister James Marape, in response to a question by the member for Sinasina Yongomul Kerengakua, also about this, said the special purpose vehicle was an interim arrangement.
I want to maybe in the interest of time, and to the beneficiaries, the five provincial governments and the landowners in the 5 provinces. This is an interim special purpose vehicle. You yourselves will decide. We will facilitate what you want to do with this one. You want, from government policy, we want it to be a perpetual wealth for the 5 provinces together, structured in a manner in which the fiduciary standard is required of such public companies be established, run properly, and wealth generate perpetually in a sovereign wealth fund sustainable manner sort of setup and structure that we want to deliver for the 5 provinces.
Ruth Rugula, TVWAN News.
The National Disaster Center has activated the Early Operations Protocol in preparation for El Nino, which is predicted to hit the country in June and last till March next year. Minister responsible for disaster, Dr. Billy Joseph, says with a prediction of 82% certainty, this will have a huge impact on the country and has the potential to cause macroeconomic shocks. All levels of government have been urged to be prepared to respond to this.
Many questions and answers were shared today in Parliament about El Nino, which is predicted to happen in June, to peak between November and December and last until March of next year.
If this El Nino is going to be worse than the last one, then we would have to assume that up to 60% of our rural population, perhaps more, will be affected. So I would like to ask the government to put together a bipartisan committee, if we can.
That's about the impending El Nino that's turning out to be possibly the worst in human history. That's what scientists are saying. So how are we preparing for that? How are our people going to be ready for that? They're already facing the impact of climate change and global warming.
Minister responsible for disaster, Dr. Billy Joseph, acknowledged that the country is prone to disasters, citing the severity of the recent cyclone Maila. He therefore called on all provinces to prepare for the predicted El Nino.
Forward. We have to prepare, because if we prepare, then we may respond properly when there is a disaster. All the districts, all the provincial governments, you may need to put in some money aside long disaster too. You may not wait long national government as well.
He further warned that the impacts will be far-reaching, affecting not just food security, but also economic security.
This super El Nino is likely to cause macroeconomic shocks. Inflation and food security will be an issue. Droughts in agricultural powerhouses, especially in Australia, Southeast Asia, and sub-Saharan Africa, will depress crop yields and push global food prices. As we have seen in the Ukraine-Russia war, ENG will not be spared from this.
In preparation for this, he said the National Disaster Center has activated its early operations protocol.
By our standard operation procedure, Mr. Speaker, we have activated the early action protocol.
This year's El Nino is predicted with an 82% certainty. Ruth Rungala, TV1 News.
Concerns were raised today on the need for heads of government departments and agencies to be present in Parliament and take note of grievances that have been raised by members of Parliament during grievance debate. Speaker of Parliament Job Pomat raised this after question time ended today, and as the House was transiting to grievance debate, Northern Governor Gary Juffa shared similar views.
You may now bagel of grievance, but before you make a grievance, honorable members, over the grievance debate, time you go finish long, you must stop, note it.
but plenty point of members of parliament is a regime. Emi got meaning law. Now usat may take note lo desla na make him walk come up lo desla. So sana Prime Minister, plenty all department all head no time of parliament mi salugi mono sakam. And walk long all lo take him note lo desla. Now minister so was department all head no come. Please. You mean not wasting time lo grievance debate na go silip natin. You must cut good way come up lo grievance debate.
The Papua LNG project is now at an advanced stage of development. Minister for Petroleum Jimmy Maladina announced this in Parliament on Thursday, stating that the project developer has confirmed that final investment decision, or FID, is expected within this year. He said this represents a major milestone for Papua New Guinea and reflects growing confidence in the country's petroleum sector and investment environment.
The Papua LNG project is progressing rapidly, with Minister for Petroleum Jimmy Maladina announcing in Parliament that the project developer anticipates making a final investment decision later this year. He emphasized that the FID will pave the way for further investment and development in the industry, benefiting both the economy and local communities. He further announced that the development forum process is expected to commence in July 2026 and continue over a 2-month period. The development forum will bring together the state, project developers, provincial governments, local level governments, district development authority, landowners, and other stakeholders to negotiate and agree on benefit sharing arrangements.
Mr. Speaker, the Papua New LNG project is now at an advanced stage of development. The project developer, Total Energy, has confirmed that the final investment decision is expected within this year. The development forum process is expected to commence in July 2026 and continue for over 2 months period. We will mobilize the landowners and the respective interested parties late June, and then commence the development forum in early July.
Under the negotiated fiscal framework for Papua LNG, the projected state take is approximately 52%. This is based on improved royalty calculations together with the inclusion of a production levy, which was not part of the PNG LNG arrangements. Minister Maladina said Papua LNG will also introduce domestic market obligation provisions. He explained that under the current framework, 5% of production will be reserved for the domestic market at approximately 4.5 per million British thermal units, which PNG LNG currently does not contain domestic market obligations provisions.
Existing domestic market supply arrangements to Derio and New Power are based on approximately 9% of JCC. Me sorry I'm difficult, but this all priced in our formulas and something our gas company in the international market. So JCC basically means Japanese crude cocktail pricing.
Maladina said the government remains committed to ensuring Papua LNG delivers long-term economic benefits, employment opportunities, infrastructure development, and sustainable returns for Papua New Guinea. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The government is assessing the establishment of a national refinery policy in light of current global developments, energy security considerations, and the need to strengthen downstream petroleum capacity within Papua New Guinea. Minister for Petroleum announced this in Parliament on Thursday, May the 28th.
The Maraperoso government is now placing strong emphasis on downstream processing. Minister for Petroleum Jimmy Maladina said the government acknowledges concerns raised regarding more than 3 decades of crude oil exports with limited visible development outcomes and is developing a petroleum downstream policy as part of its 2026 reform agenda through the National Petroleum Authority. This assessment also considers the future role of the existing Napa refinery infrastructure.
Government's long-term policy direction is to refine more of our raw materials within Papua New Guinea and export processed petroleum products to Australia and other countries in the region, rather than continuing exporting raw resources only. Also in this context, the government is now seeking larger domestic market obligation allocation for oil and gas during negotiation for future oil and gas agreements under the production sharing policy.
Maladina Feda stated that this policy direction commences with Papua LNG and will continue into future projects including Pinyang and other major petroleum developments. He said for the proposed Pinyang project, the projected state take is approximately 63%. This is driven by higher production levy arrangements together with an additional 10% equity participation by the state, while the final equity pricing arrangements remain under discussion.
Pinyang will also contain domestic market obligation, provision equivalent to 5% of production under the tiered pricing structure. Government fully recognizes the importance of ensuring host communities, local level governments, district and provinces receive meaningful economic participation and downstream business opportunities arising from these developments.
This policy will address national energy security, downstream processing opportunities, domestic refining capacity, and related petroleum businesses within Papua New Guinea. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. After the break, raising a child is costly and MOU signed to promote Western Highlands cultural heritage.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, namumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Cold Power Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Cold Power Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
Central Province is our home.
The tides of the Coral Sea are our heartbeat. From the coast to the mountains,
Traditions pass generation to generation.
the sea and our gardens sustain us.
Our songs carry our legends through time.
Our home is Central Province. Our nation is Papua New Guinea.
Thanks for staying with us. PNG Air has officially welcomed its new ATR 72600 aircraft Mangi Kutubu in Moro Southern Highlands today. The occasion marked a significant achievement for Kutubu oil and gas landowners represented by Petroleum Resources Kutubu, while also highlighting a major investment aimed at strengthening PNG Air's service capacity nationwide. The ceremony featured traditional welcomes, keynote speeches, and the official aircraft dedication. Raising a child is costly and comes with great responsibility. Health workers are encouraged to raise awareness on the importance of family planning in their communities.
Graduates from the Assemblies of God Community Health Worker Training School in Leh were recently encouraged to be health ambassadors in their respective communities. The Chief Executive Officer of the Morobe Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Kipas Binga, drew attention to the influence that health workers have in their community. He said first on the agenda must be the topic of family planning.
Family planning is important because you know, you run into plenty of issues. You must talk someone line of family planning, you make him good, you think him good, you make him very good, you make him very good, you make him must not picking him really like a carabiner. The cost of raising a child in this country is not cheap. To teach a child from baby going up and have that ready, or you can carry them going to the world. It will cost you anything between 300 to 500,000 for an ordinary Papua New Guinea. Because you will pay lunch pay them, bus fare pay them, uniform pay them, school fee pay them. We do these things. Lumps are coming high, but we don't look at the cost of raising a person and giving that person the opportunity to thrive in life.
With the strain on basic government services and resources due to an increase in population, Dr. Binga stressed that people need access to modern contraception. Ruth Rungola, TVWAN News.
The National Cultural Commission under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Western Highlands Provincial Government to partner and collaborate in promoting and preserving cultural heritage in the province. The signing ceremony took place in Port Moresby on Wednesday, the 27th of May.
Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Belden Nama, said the Memorandum of Understanding will strengthen cultural research, documentation and preservation efforts in Western Highlands Province while creating new opportunities for cultural development.
And through this MOU also we will develop and implement a 5-year provincial cultural development plan so that we give that structure and direction. And my CEO will work closely with your provincial administrator. And I hope through this MOU also you will probably have a Western Highlands Tourism Bureau there. We want to work closely with you so that we see this MOU not just for us signing here, but it is implemented. And I want to be proactive about this thing.
He highlighted the importance of the Mantagan Show, describing it as one of the country's major cultural events that continues to attract thousands of visitors and tourists each year.
Mantagan Show has a very profound history. Actually, it was the peace ceremony that was started between the warring tribes. To bring peace, they have to do these exchanges in a peaceful ceremony, which developed into a show today.
Minister Nama also commended Western Highlands Governor Wairapa for his leadership and commitment to promoting culture, arts and tourism in the province, noting his active engagement with local communities and visitors. He also encouraged other provincial governments throughout the country to work closely with the National Cultural Commission to promote culture as a main tourism product. Rapa described culture as one of PNG's greatest strengths and identities.
Tourism
Papua New Guinea is a country that we have 800 languages, and also we have traditions in our country that no other country in the world is compared to the kind of culture we have in the country. So Papua New Guinea is still one of the best countries in the world.
He also thanked the Commission for the partnership and said the provincial government had already identified land for the development of a cultural center in the province. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
Chairman of PNG LNG Heights PDL1 Hiwa Block, Larry Andagali, has refuted a media statement from TVWAN clan leader Matthew Iruka, questioning his appointment as Director of Gas Resource Gigira. Iruka in his statement said the election, which was conducted at the Hilton Hotel in Port Moresby, was held in the absence of the Managing Director of Mineral Resource Development Company, Augustine Mano, and the Governor of Hela, Philip Undialu. Andagali, however, said the election of the directors has nothing to do with Undialu nor Mano and questioned the motive behind such statements.
Chairman of the PNG LNG Heights PDL1 Eva Block, Larry Andagali, has responded to a media statement from TVWAN clan leader Matthew Iruka, who criticized the recent election held at the Hilton Hotel in Port Moresby. Iruka claimed that the election lacked legitimacy due to the absence of key figures, including Augustine Mano, the Managing Director of the Mineral Resource Development Company, and Ela Governor Philip Undialu. In his rebuttal, Andagali stated the election of the directors is independent and does not require the presence of either Mano or Undialu.
I was nominated by Chief Palingwaola and seconded by Agabe Andiria, and Hunumani Chairman Agilu Tatabe closed the nomination. Since there were no other nominations, Magabe Katia moved the motion to close the call for nominations, and Urulu Wandeko, Chairman of Tobani, seconded that nomination. So I was elected unopposed, and the Electoral Commission representatives declared me.
He defended his election as the director to the Gas Resource Gigira Board and urged other leaders to make their intentions known for the election of a second director to the board in the near future.
We will have another election. The second election will take place when Wita and Ware 1 clan representation or chairman election is finalized. When that is finalized, then we will call out for the second election. And during that second election, Matthew Iruka will also have an opportunity to contest. And so as all the other 9 clan members to become the second Hiwa Block Director to sit on the Gas Resource Company.
Iruka alleged that Andagali's illegal election also disqualifies him from seeking appointment as chairman of the newly established Croton Equity Option Special Purpose Vehicle, which will manage the 4.27% equity from PNG LNG project for and on behalf of impacted landowners and their 5 provincial governments. The Croton Equity was separated from Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited recently. However, Andagali brushed aside all these allegations and said his election was conducted fairly by officers of the PNG Electoral Commission in the presence of the Chief Risk Officer of MRDC.
This is not the process for both the governor and the Augustine. They have a different role to play. This job is for Electoral Commission, and so Electoral Commission came in and they conducted the election. So normal election process been followed. The rules of conducting the election was explained to us day before, prior to the election. And so MRDC invited the 7 clan chairmen to come in. It was on Wednesday, last week Wednesday. Yeah? And then on Thursday we conducted the election. So we followed every process that was outlined, as part of the lobby process. So it's complete now.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Meantime, Andagali thanked the Maraparoso government for establishing a special purpose authority to cater for the 4.27% cotton equity for the 5 provincial governments and landowners in the PNG LNG project.
All of us have a duty of care to make sure that this benefits, because it's tying with the Gigero Lightable Prophecy. It also talks about benefits coming in as a package, seed for planting and the fruit for eating. So it comes in as a part of the prophecy. And so those people who are in the position of leadership today, they will be accountable, because Lightable is fire, and so either it's going to burn you or it's going to save you, or keep you warm and create a better future, for us. So.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2292 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2217 $0.3058 Australian dollars, $0.1822 euro, and 35.05 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and coffee closed higher, cocoa, crude oil, and copper closed lower, and palm oil closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, PSP's OneTalk wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at PSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our OneTalks, to our family, to the ones we love. PSP's OneTalk wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Kids in Papua New Guinea love to smile and spread joy. And when they smile, it lights up our world. Come on, Mom, it's you first. Do the 1, 2, 3. Wake up. Brush your teeth. Smile. Let's spread some smiles in PNG with Colgate.
You sabi tu awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV,
STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blong you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banis him you yet na future blong you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins for visibly less hair breakage after retouching. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Mega Growth Anti-Damage No Light Cream Relaxer for visibly less hair breakage after retouching.
Thanks for staying with us. Turning abroad, heat records have been tumbling across Europe as an unprecedented early heat wave continues to bake the continent. Climate change experts in the UK say urgent action is needed to prevent people suffering or dying from heat-related illnesses.
Heat wave outside, hot box inside. As London swelters through its first blast of heat for the year, it's warmer in Angela Stenning's fifth floor flat than it is out.
When you're in one of these kind of buildings and you're in this flat, and especially trying to sleep at night time, it's horrible because you just literally sweat. There's nothing that you can do.
None of these flats have air conditioning.
I'm going out right now to buy some fans and it's crazy.
Temperature records for May broke twice in parts of the UK this week, and while heat above 30 degrees isn't unusual in Australia, climate change means it's becoming more common here. Making it worse, Britain's architecture.
Our buildings are built for a different world. They're built for a world which is largely cold. Our buildings are really good at keeping heat in, and in the summer, that's not great. We're built for a climate that no longer exists, and the adjustment that needs to happen is something we've not really been prepared for.
It's not just the buildings that can't cope. Public transport can be unbearable.
London's iconic red double-decker buses are the cheapest way to travel in this city, but on days like this, they're absolutely stifling.
And only 40% of the tube network is air-conditioned.
Super hot, very cramped. You feel the body heat from everybody around you, so yeah, quite bad.
Last year, more than 1,500 people died in the UK from the heat. Climate experts are looking at countries such as Australia for solutions, while everyone is looking for ways to cool down until a cool change.
Is this going to help?
No, but it's worth a try.
Summer officially starts next week.
There are calls for better sex education in schools to help young people prepare for adulthood. Increasingly, teens are facing unwanted sexual experiences and declining condom use as they grapple with information they say is sometimes impractical or irrelevant.
Next to you for a definition of sex.
Students at Lakeview Secondary College on the outskirts of Melbourne are in a sex ed class with a difference. It's tackling sex and intimacy without shame or fear in order to equip students to better navigate risks.
We do approach the work with a really sex-positive lens, which acknowledges risk. After your first date, put it here.
Educator Anne Atchison delivers this class to schools across the state and says when sex ed is done well, it can have a lasting impact.
The most important thing is to take away stigma.
No one's judged. You're allowed to ask questions that outside you'd usually, get laughed at.
But not all students across Australia get this kind of education. A national survey of more than 4,000 teens aged 14 to 18, released exclusively to the ABC, has found while almost all received relationships and sexuality education, less than half found it relevant.
They're looking for more in-depth, more detailed and practical conversations.
Lead researcher Professor Jennifer Power says when sex ed misses the mark, the consequences can be significant.
There's also a relatively low number of young people who are consistently using condoms for STI prevention.
The survey also found unwanted sexual experiences and intimate partner violence remain widespread. 21-year-old Gabby Koloff can relate to the findings.
Young people don't want to be babied anymore. The birds and the bees
isn't going to cut it. And you would never send a sexy picture?
No.
They say it's time for sex education to grow up.
The effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz has strangled the supply of fertilizer and sent pricing soaring, hurting Australian farmers who depend on fertilizer to boost yields. There are other measures to help improve productivity, but for many farmers, getting off the fertilizer treadmill is simply too expensive.
These cows graze from has been grown without synthetic fertiliser. Organic dairy farmer Mark Lambert focuses on keeping soil healthy by striking the right pH balance. He uses phosphate rock, lime, dolomite and gypsum and grows a variety of grass, clover and herb species to bring in nutrients.
The three together, everything just starts to work, it starts to recover, starts to get off what we as organic farmers call the drug of urea, the drug of nitrogen.
The organic price guarantee makes it worthwhile.
Could we grow more grass with nitrogen? Yes. Is it healthier grass? No.
Nearby, this apple and wine grape grower is taking a hybrid approach, using supplements like a silicon made from crushed glass, which helps plants access elements in the ground.
Creating the environment for all the organisms in the soil to do their job more naturally. It's not 100% answer to the problem, but it goes a long way to helping the problem.
He's not backing away from fertilisers like urea.
We're not dropping all of our tools because we still need to add some sort of fertiliser, particularly if something is super deficient.
Alternatives can be expensive and finite, so even though synthetic fertiliser prices are through the roof.
In a lot of circumstances, it's the only option. So there are certain crops that without synthetic fertiliser would be yielding below what would be considered a break-even point, and that's obviously not viable for anyone.
Soil testing labs have been inundated with samples as farmers try to get more bang for their buck out of fertiliser and cut back where they can. But if pressures don't ease, they could move away from crops that are heavily reliant.
And that ends the news segment. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Ready for the world, so is your Visa Visa card. Visa keeps you moving wherever you go, Papua New Guinea or abroad. Seamlessly pay for travel, dining, online shopping. Easily access your funds and instantly track your expenses. Every tap comes with security, trust, and peace of mind. Unlock the world of possibilities. And it all starts with the new TISA Visa card.
Every growing child needs the best care to help them grow physically, socially, intellectually, and emotionally. That's why I choose Tender Care. It keeps skin clean and fresh and is hypoallergenically tested for gentle and safe protection. So my child can be protected for all of life's adventures. Tender Care.
Are you ready to get accelerated up? Freeway Motors got the hottest coffee tray Land Cruiser you've been searching for. Fully kitted diesel engine Toyota Land Cruiser dual cab. Adjustable steer, AM, FM, and Bluetooth for your entertainment and more. It's now or never. Hurry! Come into our 4-mile branch to inspect this beauty and get blown away and live with a powerful, stylish, open-back Land Cruiser and drive in style.
From our homes, where every morning starts with a taste we all love. A taste that holds memories and sheds stories. A taste that can bring friends together. Made with care and loved in every corner of PNG. Inspired by our champions and rooted by our family values. Snacks, so crunchy and tasty, it's irresistible.
Dad's gonna be home soon. Dinner's not ready. He's gonna be mad. Mom's trying her best. If it's not ready, oh no. I'm proud of my old man. If he can change, anyone can.
The Brave Wilderness Channel features plenty of dangerous animals. From snapping turtles and grizzly bears to swimming with gators and tiger sharks. Ow! Ooh! Yeah! I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
Welcome back. The Digicel ExxonMobil Cup competition is set to deliver another thrilling weekend of rugby league action around the country in round 8. As the 2026 competition reaches the halfway point of the season, the battle for the top spots is intensifying, with teams aiming to secure their place in the finals.
Looking back towards the centre field.
Round 8 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup competition kicks off Saturday in Minsk, Jiwaka, when Osila Wagi Tumbe hosts competition cellar dwellers PRK Galfiso, yet to find their winning formula after recording only one win so far this season. On form, Tumbe should easily account for the Karo boys. Sunday, fans in the nation's capital should see a competition of heavyweights. Croton Hella Wigman take on the hot and cold Eastern Britain Egma Gurias, who seem to be struggling for consistency this season. Gurias were chased down last week by the fast-finishing Miocs, forcing them to a 24-all draw at full time at Queen's Park in Rabaul. They face another tough assignment away this Sunday against a revamped Wigman outfit coming off a dominant performance against Muruks in Leh last week. Wigman's dynamic duo, the evergreen Solomon Pokare and Lotte Kuman in the halves, have been in top form of late. With the PNG Hunters on bye this weekend, coach Andrew Antiki might use Hunters number 9 Trevor Solu off the bench to add some attacking flair to the game on Sunday. Guria spine Makalunga, Joshua Mire and Emmanuel Alfred will need to step up and put pressure on the more versatile Wigman trio, who have the ability to create something out of nothing. Both forward packs are pretty even out, with Guria's man mountain Muka Mohamed Kado Peter expected to cause some havoc for the Wigman's defense in the middle of the ruck. He'll be assisted by former Port Moresby Vipers wrecking ball Ezra Dean Sakaya, Simon Johnson, Cragen Format and Junior Tallinn completing the Guria's pack. They are up against a formidable Wigman pack led by Man at Work, Kopi Piju at lock, Jacob Lott, Young Ruben Yawas, Corps Mesa, Benjamin Tony and Rake Goy Sakipo. Both teams are evenly matched out in the back, with veteran centre Gilmore Paul and McQueen Warino will be calling the shots for the wingers Shedrick Wano and Joshua Andape, with Stanford John at fullback. Guria stalwarts William Tirang and Emil Benjamin at centre, while the ever-reliable Chris Benjamin and new kid on the block, Apron Akim, on the wings. Gurias have been passive with their defensive resolve and need to be better. Otherwise, Wigman is favourite to take out the game. You can watch all the action 2 p.m. Sunday, live and exclusive on TVWAN Sports 2. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
In the other fixtures, Goroka Lahanis will host new competition leaders, Kandas in Goroka, who are in red-hot winning form. If Lahanis bring last week's winning form against Vipers and with good discipline, backed by their home crowd, Kandas could have their work cut out for them. In Leh, reigning champions Leh Snacks Tigers will face Port Moresby Vipers on Sunday at 2 p.m. while Mendi Muruks will look to bounce back from last week's loss with a strong performance against the high-flying Mount Hagen Eagles. Meanwhile, in Wabeg, the Enga Mioks will be looking to leverage their good form and use home advantage to secure a crucial victory. The Dabaris, on the other hand, are desperate to turn their season around after a string of disappointing performances and will need to dig deep for a win on the road. The Port Moresby AFL Premier Competition is set for another action-packed weekend of exciting football entertainment.
Top on the agenda this weekend is Premiers Gerahu Magpies returning from a bye last weekend to take on newcomers Defence in the first game on Saturday. Defence boys are playing some good footy, but it will take a lot more to defeat a classy Magpies lineup. In the second match, Alavana Swans, coming off a good win last weekend, should travel Koboni for a win. Koboni has yet to find a winning combination and may suffer a defeat from the fast-improving Swan side. In the main game on Saturday, the Tarama Suns are in red-hot form and will certainly dominate all four quarters against Kairoos, who are yet to find a winning combination. On Sunday, the match of the weekend will be the Dockers versus Tigers. This will be an evenly contested match, tipping the Tigers to take this one out. With Moses keeper John James Lover in the bags, the Tigers will prove too strong. In the earlier match on Sunday, West and Kokofas will go head-to-head in what is expected to be a thrilling encounter. Although West have plenty of experience on their side, the never-say-die attitude from the youthful Golden Boys will make this a very interesting game to watch, tipping West to win in a very close finish. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The New South Wales women displayed some incredible match-winning plays to clinch the Women's State of Origin series at Suncorp. A couple of outstanding try-saving tackles helped the Blues finish with a tight 14-10 win over a gritty Maroons side. The Maroons had some opportunities, but execution let them down. Here are the match highlights.
It was building, but it's a poor pass.
Turns to Kelly. Kelly is over. Isabel Kelly gets the opener. There'll be no denying the Blues this time.
I must have missed that, Salty.
Here goes Alessio out wide. Peters from the corner. And Peters hits back for the Maroons. Now Kelleher. Kelly. Frezard. Frezard! Yes! What a try! That lit footy from the Blues with the last play of the series, and it's all over. The 2026 Women's State of Origin series ends with a blue wash.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern. Port Moresby, Daru and Alotau partly cloudy. Popondetta, cloudy periods with possible rain showers. Momase, Lae, partly cloudy. Madang, cloudy periods with possible showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, cloudy with showers and possible thunderstorms. Buka, cloudy periods with few showers. And Highlands region, all centers morning fog patches clearing to partly cloudy, then possible evening showers and thunderstorms, except Mount Hagen. Morning fog patches clearing to partly cloudy periods with chances of showers. Ocean forecast, Coral and Solomon Seas. Seas light with southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light to moderate with northeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas light with southeast to northeasterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of Finchefem through Vitia Strait to CSC Long Island to Medang, Wewak, Vanimo, and northern PNG Indonesian border. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Have a safe weekend. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by